Good morning, everybody. Enter the stars. And I pre-recorded this show so that I could hang out with you guys in the chat, hopefully. Wasn't sure if I was going to do a show this weekend, but definitely thought this would be a great opportunity to cover Demi Lovato's new album. Now, her album trailer released on 6/6/6. June 6th, 2022. 2022 is a 246. And this is when she chose to release this album trailer. We're going to be taking a look at just a brief snippet from that album trailer on YouTube later on in the Decode. But we don't do too many of these artist decodes anymore. I mean, even though this was really the backbone of this channel for many years, when we first started out, early in the process of trying to decode the Matrix, we thought we needed to hyper focus on some of these artists and individuals, and it did provide a lot of clues. But then we realized that much of this stuff was happening way above these people's pay grade, and they were just basically pawns in the game. So then we began to focus more on the films and movies, and as we progress through decoding all of this stuff, I'm sure that the channel will continue to shift to drill down on some of these things that are going on in the Matrix and how these people program humanity. So I decided to take a look at Demi Lovato because this one is over the top. Demi Lovato, the demagogue, mocking Christ in the crucifixion position. Now, normally this would break YouTube's terms of service. Like if you were to depict Biden in this way or any of these other figures, or if you were to make fun of any other person or entity on YouTube, it would be called bullying and harassment and you'd be removed from YouTube, right? But for some reason, this is okay. This is okay. And I mean, we all know why they allow this, but it's hypocrisy in plain sight. Now, we're going to break down the symbolism surrounding this album. We're also going to look at some of the lyrics from the album, and we're going to try to figure out how all of this fits into their agenda. Now, first things first is the name Demi. Now, of course, that probably means demagogue, but her last name is actually more specific. Now, it's important to break these things down because these people go into high detail when they are programming us. Each person that they cast in their role has a specific purpose and a specific meaning. And in this case, Lovato's last name means wolf. Now, this goes all the way back to the Looper cult. As you can see here, lupus, wolf means Lovato in Italian. The Looper cult goes all the way back to ancient Rome and the Lupercalia cult of wolves, where they would sacrifice a wolf and a dog and sometimes a goat. And it was all about a fertility ritual that happened right on the dates of Valentine's Day. And this is where our modern Valentine's Day comes from. It comes from this ancient Looper cult that basically began on February 13th through the 15th. There's 3 days of ritual slapping. There was thongs. There was fertility. There was all these things going on. There was blood mixed with milk, which makes the color pink, which is why we have Valentine's Day today. It was all basically mixed in together to basically form the modern version of this ancient cult. Now, the wolf is very important to the enemy, and there are many, many reasons for that. Basically, one of the first Egyptian gods was called Wepawet. He was a dog god, a wolf god. And these are the foundations of ancient Egyptology. Now, of course, Demi Lovato is of a long line of artists who basically started out seemingly wholesome, didn't she? And what this did was many, many parents let their guard down when it came to allowing their sons and daughters to be influenced by this woman and being part of their lives. And this is how it works. It's gradualism. They start out with Hannah Montana, and then Hannah Montana becomes Miley Cyrus. They transform into something much different, which is exactly what happened with Demi Lovato. There was a transformation that occurred, a portal that she passed through, basically, that also brings the people following her into this new transformative, basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Her identity. So this stuff is very powerful, it's very real, and it's very dangerous. Now, the media has been behind Demi Lovato throughout this transformation. Here's actually an interview that she did with Jimmy Fallon. And the media, of course, has been keeping her relevant for all these years, haven't they? And they're doing this on purpose because they've invested a lot of time and energy into these artists so that they could become Pied Pipers for our children. Now, many people would surmise that much of this, these antics, with these albums and images like this, are simply for attention getting. And I would agree with you to a certain extent, but it goes far, far beyond just her trying to get attention, okay? And these, yes, they're distractions, but you really have to take notice of these things because they are very powerful tools that the enemy uses to basically get people to doubt God, okay? That's what his entire purpose is, to try to depict God as a hypocrite, to try to basically blame God for all sin in the world and why God won't intervene, when in actuality the devil runs this world and rules this world, so all the bad things that happen are because of him. But he wants to blame God and get you feeling helpless, get you feeling abandoned, and that's what this is all about. And so these persistent religious references are very intentional. And this is why you can understand that God and Jesus are real, because these people are obsessed with the Most High, literally depicting him in almost everything. Now, here is the album trailer. I'm just going to show you this scene here. I'm not going to really play this, but as you can see, she's in a bathroom. Remember, this released on 666, June 6th, 2022, which is a 6. And here's Demi in the bathtub, the dark water tub baptism. This is her transformation from the innocent pop star, which wasn't so innocent, right, to the darkened rock star. And in fact, she says this. She says that she wants to be seen differently now, and that she's transforming into a more edgy rock image. So this dark water baptism isn't so beyond the scope of our imagination to understand what's going on here, is it? No, we've decoded even these old bathtubs. The original bathtubs, these go all the way back to vintage times. These were the dragon's claw, these feet on the bottom of the bathtub. So she's basically being baptized in the dark water in order to transform into the next stage of her career. And all of the little girls that were walking this path with her will also be making the transformation. Now, let's get into some of these lyrics to some of these songs. Here's the title track from Holy F. Like a serpent in the garden, I am truth, I am darkness. So what she's doing is she's showing the duality. She's basically demonstrating the duality of humanity. That there is darkness in all of us that we have to continually fight, don't we? But the problem is that she's giving into that darkness, embracing it. She says, I'm an angel, I'm a demon. Just depends on what you're feeling. I'm the fruit that was forbidden. But don't keep my evil hidden. I'm the one she was afraid of. And I'm what your dreams are made of. I'll show you the light with all the lights off, with all the lights off. I'll bring you to life. I'm Holy F. I'm Holy F. So notice the sexuality of this, which is kind of weird when you see that she came from childhood into this role. And of course, bringing all of the people with her that were into her as a child. So there's this component to this minor attracted person component to this that is also here, and she's working it, as you can see here, with these lyrics to this song, luring people into this. And they wonder why these people, these minor attracted persons, are out there. It's because of stuff like this, that they are the ones programming people to lure them into this. Let's keep reading here. It says, you see me begging for permission. Let me free you from her prison. She's a novice, a beginner. I'm the sexorcist, the sinner. I can guide you. I can teach you. This is just a preview because my body's the communion. So all this sacrilegious talk. And again, if you were to replace this with somebody else instead of Jesus, this would be taken off YouTube for hate speech or, harassment or going against a group, and all these things. But for some reason, it's okay to mock Jesus. So there's just more chorus here. I think this is pretty much all the same. Now here are some more of these song titles on the track. There are 16 tracks altogether. That's 8 and 8. That's 88. And as you can see, City of Angels, which we all knew Los Angeles was really the City of Angels. There's a movie about it. But these are the fallen angels. Let's see what she has to say about City of Angels. I'm sure she's going to basically say it's the fallen angels. I haven't read these lyrics yet. Been here for 15 years. I'm bored to tears. Nothing left to do. This town is heaven sent. The better when I'm face down under you. Before they go and write my eulogy, come make this place new to me. By christening the City of Angels. Show it to me from every angle. I want to see Beverly on my knees. I want you to make me scream at the Roxy. So all these sexual references, of course. Splash Mountain from your hands at Disney. I skipped the lines. I'm going. So there's just all these references here, right? At Saddle Ranch, I'll ride. There's probably some secret stuff going on here as well that only the elite know about. I don't know about Saddle Ranch. What's that? You call me they, but I'm still daddy's girl. Come make my day and rock my world. So, unbelievable. Let's get back into some of these other lyrics from some of these other songs. And I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but we need to probably look at some of them. That was City of Angels. Dead Friends, Happy Ending, Heaven, Forever for Me, Feed. Let's see what Feed is all about. Went to the mountain, drank all the wine, walked through the valley, felt every high. I ran through fire. So basically this is mockery of the temptation of Christ. Right? This is everything he went through. I ran through the fire. I did my time. I found my soul just to lose my mind. Met with the healers. Prayed with the saints. All the sinners know my name. So obviously, she didn't write all these lyrics, right? Are you starting to understand what's going on here? Someone wrote these for her. She doesn't even have this kind of biblical knowledge. But yet, here's the entire temptation of Christ basically depicted, talking about the healing, him going to the top of the mountain, turning water into wine, except she drank all the wine. Walking through the valley of the shadow of death, which was the 40 days of temptation. And she doesn't know all this stuff, obviously. Someone wrote this for her. Someone with an agenda to do exactly what I said that they're trying to do. I got two wolves inside of me, so here's your confirmation that Lovato means wolf, right? I don't just make things up or stretch or reach for things. This is investigative symbolism. But I decide which one to feed. Some days are diamond, some days are rough. Some days I'm tired, some days I'm tough. I built a bridge and burn it down. I found my wings just to lose my ground. One wolf howls while the other one sings. One wolf soothes while the other one stings. I hold on tight to things I've learned, but the wrong looks right. So imagine let's say a 17 or 16-year-old girl listening and following Demi Lovato, probably goes to some of her concerts, parents allow it, right? And they're hearing all this. Well, obviously, many of those 16 or 17-year-olds don't understand the Bible the way we do, because it takes a lifetime to really start to understand the Bible. They haven't read any of this or know about it. So they're being indoctrinated with it, so that when the Bible message finally does reach them, maybe a little bit later in life, mid-20s, maybe 30s, they're going to remember these lyrics, and it's going to counter the message. It's going to be much harder for God's message to get through, because they've already been programmed to doubt God, to believe that they're just going to give in to their sin. And because of all of this programming, basically mockery of God. Now let's get into some of these other songs here. So hopefully you're understanding how all this works, okay? Because this is serious as a heart attack, you guys. Now this is the final track, Forever for Me. Remember I said 8 and 8 is 16. This is the 16th track. And 8 and 8 is about time, isn't it? So it's interesting that they named that track Forever for Me, because that's about time, isn't it? Let's see if they have anything to say about time in these lyrics. Walls came down, where did they go? I didn't notice when they fell. I fell for you. Smitten and hopeless, lost in this feeling. Maybe I'm healing. I can't hold back, I'm falling in love. It's been right on the tip of my tongue, so here I am speaking honestly. I think this is forever for me. So she's basically talking about falling in love forever. But with who is the question. When we are alone, time floats away. So there you go. Like I just said, this is about time, isn't it? We stare at each other. Take me home. I can't wait to hug. And thank you, your mother. Here's what I'd say. He's beautifully made. I can't wait to show you. You'll see. I promise his heart's safe with me. So he's beautifully made. That almost sounds like some kind of biblical reference to Satan or something, doesn't it? I can't hold back. I'm falling in love. It's been right on the tip of my tongue. So there you go. Final track talking about time. Time and space, the number 88. So obviously very sophisticated lyrics here, with a specific message. No way it was written by, how old is she now? She can't be much more than in her 20s. Let's see if there's any of these other songs worth taking a look at. Yeah, I think we'll pretty much end it there, because we could be on here all day looking at lyrics. But anyway, I wanted to cover that with you. Let's go into her Wikipedia page and see what she has to say about this album, and just talk a little bit about the transformative nature of this album. In January 2022, Lovato posted on Instagram that she held a funeral for her former pop music, with a picture of Lovato with label and management executives all wearing black, and Lovato holding up 2 middle fingers. Now, people ask, why are our youth so dark and depressed? Could this be a reason why? These are their role models. This was later clarified to be a music label meeting, and the fact that everyone was wearing black was simply a coincidence, but Lovato had felt it was symbolic of the change in direction that her music was taking. In the months following this event, Lovato enthusiastically shared various snippets of a more rock sound on her social media, with crashing guitars, soaring vocals, and cutting lyrics. Now, this whole cutting thing, this bloodletting thing, is very serious. And what I'm noticing is many of these young pop stars are including in their lyrics this subject matter, basically putting it in the minds of the younger listeners that this is something that is done. This is where they get the idea to do these things. Children don't just come up with these things on their own. Okay? So she says, Lovato confirmed a return to emo rock that was reminiscent of my first era. She later clarified, however, that her new album would differ from her album from her debut album, in that it has a heaviness, not lyrically, but heaviness in some sort of sound that I haven't done before. All right. Confirmed her new album, definitely not R&B or soulful. I would say it's more rock than anything, and it is inspired by punk rock musicians that she was currently listening to, such as Royal and the Serpent. I haven't really looked into Royal and the Serpent too much, but there you go. Royal and the Serpent. So, on the Instagram stories in April 2022, the singer confirmed her upcoming album to reflect on the artist's ups and downs during her personal journey. She later explained getting emotional listening to her new album because she was so proud of it, as well as labeling it her absolute best yet, and so representative of me, where I started and where I am today. So, here you go, you guys. Demi Lovato and her new album. Now, we need to pray for people like this, because people like this, in my opinion, are victims. Okay? They don't even realize what they're doing. And so, what did Jesus say? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Especially these young adults have no idea the path that they've been put on by the people around them. Till one day they wake up, and sometimes it's too late. And so, we have to pray for these people. Look at this one, 333, come together. You might want to take a look at this one because of the timestamp of this particular song called Come Together. Let's take a look. Let's go down here in the lyrics. 333. Here it is. It's track number 12. This is probably one we need to take a look at. Remember, there were 12 disciples. You lead, I'll follow. You breathe, I feel it in my bones. The world suspended. We fall faster than a stone. Okay. You lead, I'll follow. Follow me. What did Jesus say? So this is more mockery. The disciples following me. I knew the minute I met you that I had to have you or I'd die. Hold back. I had to hold back. No way to hold me back tonight. Don't rush. I love slow touch and you're doing everything just right. So obviously, pretty disgusting song when it comes to the audience that she's really focused on and transitioning over into this dark world. And paradise is even better when we come together. So obviously many references to Jesus and his new kingdom. Unbelievable. So pretty much leave it at that, you guys. I don't want to soil your minds with all this stuff, but you do need to see what is happening and what is going on. And you need to protect your children. Understand that none of this stuff is just innocent. Okay? It's not. Look at all the deceived people. Look at how many thumbs up this has. Now there's an extension that you can add to your browser that'll allow you to see the amount of people that thumbs up or thumbs down a video in YouTube, even though YouTube's pretty much disabled that. And look at this. Only 1,036,000 thumbs down this video. So, a lot of people think this is just innocent fun. Unbelievable. Anyway, I love each and every one of you guys, and we will see you tomorrow with one of probably the most extensive decodes I've ever done on the franchise Venom. And you are not going to believe what I found in the Venom franchise films. I found Pan's pipes that were cut from syringes, hollow reeds, Syrinx, the nymph of Artemis. Everything we've been talking about, you guys, except it happened in a film that came out in 2018, as well as a film that came out in 2007 called Spider-Man 3. So we'll be breaking all that down tomorrow live. I love each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take care and be safe.